Look out, folks, because here comes the Raven.
Picking up the Vitacci Raven, boys.
Print and sign, print and sign.
All there, is it?
Find out when you open up. Can't do anything till I get the signatures. Then it's all yours.
It's all yours.
Close to the forks.
Look at the forks. You did not hit it though, did you?
Woo! Still there though.
The lights and everything, they all come like that.
Do they?
Besides the Ducatis, they have a little bit of a better quality.
Ducati will have some other will have like expansion bikes. The scooters, they like even the Chinese quads, they come here.
Well,
they come in
that's
the
YouTube
Chinese
channel
quad, they come in a
review.
box. Just come in a box with a pallet. There's nothing,
it?
no strap, no
Just
nothing.
bounce around?
And but the box strapped to it like this. And it's got to be this, documented this. Ducati took a bike that is $50,000, $40,000 bike.
Right. Are you trying to say this ain't worth 20,000?
What's that?
Trying to say this ain't worth 20,000?
I'm telling you right now. I'm not an expert. Come on, Connecticut.
Yeah, I'm right on the line now. These are a little lopsided. Little. Yep. I'm sure this will have a birthmark or two. Well, I guess as long as it didn't screw up these forks and push them in, we're all right, right?
A few moments later.
Peeler back. A BSR250, 18 rear and 21 front. CG engine. It's got the square box rear swing arm. Got a 428 chain. What the hell size rear sprocket's at? 45s? Looks kind of small, doesn't it? That don't look like a 50.
Yeah.
I wonder what the front is. There's my birthmark. Kind of knew that was going to be there, but at least it's not on a paint.
Not on a motor.
Nope. Oh, it's got inner miles per hour and outer kilometers. Hey, it's got 0.4 miles on it already. What the heck? Hope it didn't torque that rim or that brake rotor. Well, I'm glad it's got 1821s because this thing's getting probably knobbies on it. It's like the original Hawk pipe.
Smaller.
Ooh, yeah, that bolt come out of there, boy. It's not counterbalanced. PZ30 carb. It is PZ30. 21 front, 3.0 21. 460-18. Hey, did you see the new TBRs come with skid plates?
Yeah, mine.
Yours had skid plate. Dirt. Got a pretty good dent there. I hope this rim isn't bent. Right there. Hope it just took the paint off her. We'll find out. Another birthmark. She's torqued. Twisted T. Back in black. I like my black motorcycles. Black and white. Non-LED.
Soft too.
Same as the Hawk, huh? Well, you look on the website, you don't even know what it really looks like. They really need better pictures. The empty one. Ah, keys. Tell me when.
There you go.
Is that an adjustable shock?
No.
Non-adjustable rear shock. Ready?
Oh yeah.
Alright. Alright, you got it? This is out. No skid plate or nothing. For now. That's probably about where it's going to end up too. Torque her up to about 30-35 foot-pounds. I need a washer on that. This goes here. That's got to go on first. Look lined up. That's got to go into there. That we can do later. You think they might be, right? That's done. Stick that spacer in there. You know, mini truck is a lot better to work on. Much better. Ready? Very, very little. Yeah, she got a little bit. Might be able to take it out with the spokes. Have to keep it under 80.
Yeah. I don't want to do a 140.
That's right. That says 140 on there?
40.
There it is. Look at that.
Right,
you got her. Yeah, that's what that's for. I guess we should see if the key works.
All the girls at? Where's all the girls at?
Solid green. The green common. There it is. Now headlight. Make sure all of these are. Like that. Are you saying fuel line? Oh yeah, look at that fuel line. Definitely got to check everything. All the bolts. Everything. Well, this one's got a battery tray apparently. It's got to come out. You got to tip her out. And pull her out. That is a skinny battery. It is a 12M7AS-3A.
A few moments later.
Here goes nothing. Whoa, give her a little gas. Oh, she's nice and quiet. Think you'll be able to take the choke off? Sounds good.
I don't know by itself.
Wow. Well, that's amazing.
Quiet.
And it's not bogging. Yeah, those drops are because I spilled a little gas. Not being jetted, it goes pretty good. Get her done, motor rider. It's all the smoke burning off the motor. It'll be good for now. He left all the smoke coming off the motor. He left a nice cloud. It went into neutral easy too, didn't it? What do you think? I'm pretty impressed.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm impressed. I like it. Look at the smoke coming off. I like that it's quiet.
Yeah, it's quiet.
I don't know if I might leave this one stock. I don't know. Well, I'll leave it stock for a while. The rear brake is a little low on this side. Count that as one heat cycle, motor rider?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 2 more to do. So I'm going to use this video as an opportunity to have a refresher for some stuff that a lot of people ask about that maybe weren't so clear in some of my other videos. Normally this is the kill switch, but on this bike and a couple other bikes, that's a 4-way flasher. That is the starter button. You have to have a clutch in. That is the safety circuit to make sure the clutch is in so the starter will run. On this bike, that shuts the headlight and the lights off. That turns them on. That's high beam, that's low beam. Left signal, push to cancel. Right signal, push to cancel, and horn. This is too much play for the throttle tube. This is the adjustment. Make sure you turn the wheel both ways, full cock, and make sure there's still play. You do not want this tight, and you do not adjust the idle this way. That's the choke. That's full choke, half choke, off choke. This little tiny hole underneath the bottom of this carburetor, that's where the mixture is. That's the air fuel mixture. There's normally a plug that you have to take out on the stock carburetors. If you buy an aftermarket carburetor, it's more easily accessible. When this carburetor is on full choke and you go to start it before you do any carb work, because once you modify the carburetor, most of the time you're not going to need a choke. Full choke is up. You're going to have to give it a little throttle by hand and keep it running, because this is not fuel injected. So keep it running, start it, then go to half choke for about 20-30 seconds, keeping the bike running with your hand throttle, and then you can put the choke totally off. After about a minute it should idle. If not, this is the idle screw. If your bike doesn't idle, you turn this in. There is no set turns, you have to do it by ear. If the idle's too high, turn it out. Make sure your bike is fully warmed up before you adjust the idle, because when it's cold it's going to idle really low, and when it warms up it's going to raise. It's just how it is with carburetors. This is your clutch adjustment. Right now, that's about right. This is how you adjust it. Same thing. Make sure you turn your handlebars full cock both ways. You notice all the way to the right there's a little more. Tighten this by hand, don't over tighten it. Right, Kirby? I've heard of people stripping those. When the bike is brand new, sometimes people cannot get their transmission into neutral while it's running with the clutch in. This bike, from brand new, I can get it in. But some of them, the plates have to wear in on the clutch, and it will work after a while, after the clutch wears in, as long as you keep the right slack. Your chain slack is going to have to be adjusted when you buy the bike too. This is a little bit tight. It should have a hair more slack. The sight glass is how you check the oil. The bike has to be off the kickstand and level. That is the proper level. When you change the oil, it is exactly 1 quart. That is it. It's good from there, which I'm leaning the bike towards me, to there, because that's the high and the low mark. When you get your bike, check every bolt you can get to, and then some. Don't over tighten and break them either. Some people use Loctite. I prefer RTV silicone gasket maker. That's I found to be the best for vibration, especially if you want to take the screw off in the future to work on a bike. Loctite makes it a little more difficult. The siliconized RTV comes right off easy, and it won't let the bolt vibrate off because it's like a rubber. I have many people ask me about that. The brake lever is way too low. Now it's not as simple as just adjusting this or this, and I'm going to explain why. Because if this was high like most of these are, and I see that they did a revision here, and you adjust this screw down, see See that little play before it pushes up that master cylinder plunger? If this is pushed down like this, that means when that rear rotor gets hot and expands onto that caliper, it's going to push back on this hose and it's not going to have anywhere to go, which means it's going to keep heating up until it locks up that back tire. So when you adjust this pedal by this screw, make sure you have that little bit, at least a tiny bit, before it hits that internal plunger. Now I just adjusted that up. I'm going to sit on it and feel how that feels to my foot. I'm probably going to take these off, so of course it should be adjusted with these off. That's comfortable to me. But now there's too much slack on this master, so I'm going to adjust the master so it ends up having about this much, which is just a little bit, but enough to open up the hole so the pressure will be relieved to go back up into the reservoir. Make sure there's still enough thread in here. That I'm happy with. I can't really go much further or else I'm not going to have enough thread bolted into there. I'm happy with that. Although it's a hair much, I'm happy with that. I'll take a little bit more out of there. And that's perfect. That's the slack. That's pushing the master. This is a CG Honda clone. It's a 5-speed transmission with neutral between first and second. That right there is an oil strainer. It's not a filter. These motors come with a centrifugal filter, which is on the other side of the motor that you're supposed to clean every 10,000 miles. You can take that out just to see if there's any big chunks of stuff, but it's not really a filter, it's just a screen. That right there is the oil drain. This is the petcock. That's off. This is on. And that is reserve. These gas tanks are 3.5 gallons. Roughly 3 gallons or 2.9 when you're on. When you run out of gas, you flip it to reserve and you should have about a half a gallon to get to where you got to go. That right there, not all of them have it, is a filter, a strainer style filter. That's a good addition. A lot of them don't have it, so a lot of people end up putting an inline filter. A lot of people put these shift levers on a little too high because they think when you ride your foot's supposed to be under this at all times. But I always keep this lever level with this, because I've noticed if people keep these too high, they have a difficult time trying to shift. I personally run 18 pounds of pressure in the front and the rear. You can go a little bit lower for off-road, a little higher if you're on road all the time, but that to me seems like about the perfect pressure for the front and rear tire. Unless you have a passenger, then you want to add, probably have about 24.
The Raven. Hey, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'd love to hear what you have to say. Hit that bell if you want new notifications on new videos. Links for products used are in the description and on MotoCheez.com. Thanks for watching.